So, welcome everybody. I know it's a big week for us Americans, and there's a lot of stress going around, a lot of uncertainty, and a lot of unknowns. And this is just the land that yoga lives in, right? This level of uncertainty that we're feeling right now about many things is really just kind of taking the wool off our in front of our eyes, the ways that we think we have control, or the ways we think we know how the world works and think we know how the day is going to go. These are all just illusions anyway. That in reality, the lack of knowing what the future holds is always the case, not just when we suddenly become aware of how strong of a sensation that feels to have. Being a hospice nurse, I learn a lot about impermanence and being present with what is here, just in the moment by moment. And a lot of times I think of it like a coffee drink, like where there's this coffee and then there's this latte. If you have a latte or something, there's this froth on top. And so much of the things that we get caught up in is like the froth. And when you really settle down into what the truth is of our connections with each other, it's like removing all the froth and seeing what's there. And the refreshing part about being around people at the end of their life is that all of this stuff starts to slough away, and we see the truth of connection, that really the things that matter are our connections with each other, and our needing to feel like we have purpose, as well as this deep art of being forgiven and being able to forgive. I think these are a lot of the themes of what comes down to holding us together. And we are at a loss right now in our country with this ability to just be kind with each other, and remove all the disagreements and come down into the ways that we are all connected. And so I want to read a poem. I've read this before. Shoot, my phone just went away. So hold on one second. Let me get it up. It's called KIndess. And this is by Naomi Shihab Nye. I don't know if anyone's heard this poem. I've read it before, so maybe you have in my class. So, kindness. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolve in a moment, like salt in a weakened broth. What you held in your hand, what you counted and carefully saved, all this must go, so you know how desolate the landscape can be between the regions of kindness. How you ride and ride, thinking the bus will never stop. The passengers eating maize and chicken will stare out the window forever. Before you learn the tender gravity of kindness, you must travel where the Indian in a white poncho lies dead by the side of the road. You must see how this could be you, how he too was someone who journeyed through the night with plans, and the simple breath that kept him alive. Before you know kindness as the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow as the other deepest thing. You must wake up with sorrow. You must speak to it till your voice catches the threads of all sorrows and you see the size of the cloth. Then it is only kindness that makes sense anymore. Only kindness that ties your shoes and sends you out into the day to gaze at bread. Only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, "It is I you have been looking for," and then goes with you everywhere like a shadow or a friend. So let's go ahead and close our eyes and think about what kindness feels like to you. So I guess don't think about it, feel it, right? So observe the sensation of kindness in your body. What does it feel like when you open your heart towards someone? Maybe think about a recent experience you've had where you've either been the giver or receiver, and really, is one truly the giver or receiver? When you've had a shared experience of kindness, how has it made you feel? Do you feel connected? Do you feel a sense of love or open-heartedness, compassion? Does offering kindness or receiving kindness dip you into the flow that is this deep well instead of the froth on top. So think of someone. We're going to do a tongue blend meditation at the end of practice today, but for now, think of someone who has recently offered kindness to you. Whether it's just somebody opening the door for you in a grocery store, or letting you in the traffic line, or something more profound. Let's hold gratitude for the ways in which we connect to each other, the ways in which politics and rights and wrongs and shoulds and shouldn'ts fall away and our humanness expands. So let's take a breath and feel the sensation of kindness. Can you let your breath be full and deep? Letting your shoulders drop. So any heavy blankets that you have over you right now of stress, can you just let them fall off your shoulders for the here and now? You can always pick them back up again if you want. But bring yourself into your practice, the sanctuary of your breath. Notice anywhere that's binding you from your full breath, both on the inhale and exhale. Can you allow yourself to feel that the breath is through all of you, not just your lungs? Is there spaciousness and freedom abound? If stress is high for you today, see what it might feel like to not only have a deep, full in breath, but to slightly elongate the exhales. Maybe through some pursed lips, maybe through your nose, maybe through a sigh. All right, let's place our palms together at our heart and offer an intention. How can your practice support you today? All right, let's go ahead and come off of our seat and onto our mat. Come to lie down on your back. Feel a sense of expansion as you spread out on the ground. See what it feels like to hold yourself in ease. Can you drop into the groundedness of the floor? Let the earth receive you. Find your breath here. Is it different to breathe deeply when you're on your back? Can you spread your arms and legs a little away from the midline so that you take up a lot of space on the ground? And with all the space you're taking up, breathe into all the space. Breathe all the way to your feet. Breathe anywhere you can feel your breath moving. Keep the exhales slow and steady if you can. And then let's begin to move. So stretch your arms overhead. Just take a deep breath. Maybe hold your breath, maybe squeeze a little bit. Just invigorate the spine. And then bring your knees into your chest and rock around a little bit. So swaying from side to side. Feel free to let your whole body rock or just your pelvis rock. Can you let the rocking give you ease? Let's circle the knees a few times, just letting some massage happen across the backside of your pelvis. All right, and then go ahead and put your feet down onto the ground. Feet are wide on the floor. Windshield wiper your knees, so just going left and right. You can do your arm and head in opposition to that if you want to stretch on a diagonal. How is your breath here? It's waking up some sensation in the side bodies, sides of your hips, your low back.
And now let's come into a little bit, you might need a block for this, come into a little bit deeper of a twist. We're gonna drop our knees over to the right. You can put your block underneath your right shin or wherever it lands, and pick up your right foot and put it to the outside of your left knee. And then, just the block. You may not need the block, but have it there. This is a pretty big hip stretch and a pretty big low back stretch for many people. So just sense what you're feeling. Decide whether you want your arms stretching out to where you want your head to land. And try not to, lift your back away from the floor. See what you can do to stay melting into the earth a bit. Take a deep breath into your side body. Then come back up, a couple of windshield wipers each side again. And then we're going to come over to the left. So use a block if you need to. We're going to pick up our left foot, put it to the outside of the right knee or right thigh or right shin, wherever it kind of lands. Support yourself as much as you need. Decide what you want your right arm to be doing, what you want your head to be doing. Find a breath and sense what you're feeling through the side of your waist, through the side of your hip, maybe into your back a bit. Deep, full breaths. And then pick those knees back up and just put your feet on the floor for a moment and just let that settle. So notice, where do you feel this? Are you feeling it across your low back, the band across the backside of your sacrum or pelvis? And then bring your knees into your chest and rock again, side to side. And let's find some openness through a starfish. Spread out your limbs. And then exhale, knees into your chest. Chin up. Let's do that one more time. Open your body. Exhale, close things up. Then roll over onto your side and come up onto your hands and your knees. All right, so find some cat-cows. You can start moving, just inflection and extension. Perhaps you want something different from that. Maybe you really prefer swirling your pelvis around, doing some circles, or moving your head or swiveling through your shoulders. So don't feel trapped by just extension and flexion, but also flexion and extension are awesome. So just move your spine with your breath, however your body is needing for some waking. If tension and stress has forced you to contract in your body, let's focus on expansion today. So expanding the breath, stretching through the body, opening yourself up. Let's curl the toes under and stretch your feet back. So hips back toward the heels with your feet open. So stretch open the bottoms, spread out the bones, stretch the skin on the bottom of your feet, and then come back up onto all fours. Curl the toes under if you lost that, and then go ahead and come up to dog pose. So a full body posture here. Let's root into the hands and feet. Feel the yielding of the earth and rebound from that. So yield in and push off. Feel that sense of softness through your head. Inversions are such a beautiful way of calming the nervous system. So let's enjoy the head below the heart. Deep breaths in. Exhale fully. Long, steady breaths out. Relax what you can. Hug the hands toward each other. Invigorate the muscles along your side body so you're not relying on the shoulder joints alone to hold you in space. Feel the extension through your spine. Feel free to bend, pedal the feet. Anything that you bend the knees, pedal the feet, sway a hip, anything that's waking you up and getting you in your practice, in your body, in this moment, in your breath. All right, and then let's come forward. Fold in half, bend your knees, relax your head. Okay, inhale for a halfway lift. The spine grows here. Exhale and melt back down. Push off your feet, rise up, reaching the arms to the sky. Open yourself up, lean back a little bit. Feel that big open chest. Cactus your arms if that feels nice for your body. And then exhale and round in. Reach the arms up again. Grab onto the left wrist with the right hand and reach and open up through the left side of your body. You can take your feet a little wider apart if that's more stable. Find your breath. And even if you can't lift your arms over your head, you can do this with your hands on your hips or your arm just stretching down, where you can open up the side body without it having to be an overhead pose. Come back to center, switch sides, reaching that arm up if you're using your arms above your head. Either way, feeling the extension from your pelvis to your armpit. Feel the roots of your feet. Find your breath. Notice what the base of your skull is feeling like. Are you taking tension in your traps? All right, let's come back. Open, cactus your arms again, big open chest, and then release your arms. Shake out your hands. Okay, just give them a good shake. Maybe roll the wrists a few times. And as you're rolling the wrists, go bring your arms back out to the sides and then press your palms toward the walls next to you. So open up the chest, turn the eyes of the elbows up toward the sky, flex your fingers up toward the sky, and then release the arms. Inhale, big open circle, and then exhale and fold in half. Let the neck dangle. Notice if you're taking any tension in your traps. Grab onto the base of your skull with the heels of your hands and just ever so slightly draw the chin toward the chest and give a little traction on the back of your neck, on the base of your skull. Bend your knees as much as you need to while you do this. Feel the sense of openness through the back line of the body. How's your breath? And then release your hands. Halfway lift. Thighs go straight. Exhale and melt back down. Step your left foot back. Your right foot's forward. Come into a lunge on this side. Place your hands on blocks so that you're light on the blocks. You don't want to just collapse your body weight down. Be light. Start to open the chest. If anything's pushing, it's not the hands on the blocks. It's the feet into the earth. Feel the spine grow. Come all the way up to crescent lunge. You can bring your hands to rest on your hips. They can be out to the sides. You can bend your elbows and just take your hands out. Arms can be up. Palms can be at your heart. So find what's giving you, first of all, good sensation for your shoulder joints, but also for your breath. What's giving you the sense that you can breathe deeply and fully without binds, and that your exhale can come freely as well. Bring yourself into your breathing. This will bring us into the moment. If we're fighting against the uncertainty of our times, bringing yourself back to the moment at hand over and over again can be so very helpful. Finding the breath, exhaling, hands down onto the ground. Back foot comes forward, fold again. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, step your other foot back. So now our right foot is forward and our left foot is back. At least that's what I'm doing in my body. I think I said differently. So whatever you're doing, make sure you're on the second side and then rise up. Feel a sense of openness, spaciousness. Breathe deeply. All right, so decide where you want your arms to be. What's best for your body? Are your shoulders able to relax down? Do you have a sense of ease? What does ease even feel like to you? Scan your body and find a place that doesn't have ease. And what can you do? Can you bring your breath? Can you bring some kindness? What does it feel like when you just blanket yourself with a little self-kindness? All right, let's release our hands. Step your front foot back. Come into a plank. Hold steady here. Find your breath. Even as you're hugging strongly through to the midline with a pose that requires strength like this, can you still feel the expansion of your breathing? Is there a place in your body that's at ease? Even with strength, can you find ease within strength? All right, let's put your knees down if you need it. Come all the way to the floor. Gentle cobra pose. Just open the chest. Feel the strength through your sides, through your glutes, through your legs. Try not to lose your transverse abdominis. Hold on to some strength in your belly as you lift up. Make sure you're moving with breath, coming down on the exhales. One last time, shoulders back, the neck is long. Breathe deeply, and then find your out breath coming on down. Come back up onto all fours. Feel yourself move around, swivel, sway, whatever feels nice, so your spine becomes free. We're going to come to lie down on our right side. So as you come onto your side, bring your left hand onto the top of your head. Your knees are bent. Knees and ankles are against each other, so they're together. We're going to take a deep breath in, and as we exhale, pick up your feet and your crown, and then inhale to place them back down. So our knees stay on the floor. We're exhaling on the way up, inhaling on the way down. See if you can feel, obviously this is a lot of work for your side body, so your obliques and your transverse abdominis, but also your deep low back muscle, your quadratus lumborum. There's a little muscle in your low back that has a little isolation when you do this action. So just see what it feels like to stabilize your spine from those places. Exhale on the way up. Inhale on the way down. The knees stay down. All right, let's go ahead and relax. Roll over onto your back, and let's come to the second side. So now we're going to lie down on our left. And right hand is coming up over to the top of your head. And the only reason for putting your hand on your head like this is to keep your side body open, as well as, help you not roll forward. So it just keeps you a little bit more stable, and it gives you a clue to how to lift the head. So, you don't want to pull on the head with the hand at all. You want to lift into the hand with your strength. Okay, so the knees stay down, the chest, the head, and the feet lift up on the exhales. The inhales take you back down. Be really mindful that you're not tugging on your neck. It's amazing how much our traps can take over for us. They're such eager muscles. They're the hands up first in the classroom muscles. One more time. And then let's go ahead and come onto your back. Starfish your body open. I don't have room here, but starfish your body open, and then exhale, knees into the chest. Put your head down after you pick it up. Rock a little bit from side to side, and then let's roll over onto our side and come up to dog pose again. Okay. Remember to stabilize your pose. You're not just leaning into the shoulder joints. Hug the hands toward each other. Feel your lats and your serratus on the sides of your bodies, those muscles on the sides of your torso. Kick in a little bit to help you support. Feel the push off your hands, feel the push off your feet. Extend. Let your shoulder blades move on your rib cage. Try not to lock them down. Deep breaths in and out. Let's inhale to lift the right leg up in the air. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, let's bring that back. Exhale, bring your foot all the way forward to a lunge. Remember, if you can't, scoop your foot all the way forward, you can always come onto your knees first and then bring your foot forward. Come up to crescent lunge again. Bringing the arms upward. Let's grab on, our right foot is forward. Grab onto your left wrist with your right hand and feel some extension through that side of your body now. Feel the openness. Breathe into the openness. If for some reason your arms can't go overhead, all good. You can do this without your arms. Just extend through your shoulder. Deep breaths here. And then come back to center. Walk the back foot forward. Feel the difference between your two side bodies. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, chair pose. Draw the knees back toward the hips. You can bring your hands to your heart. You can bring your hands out wherever you want to be in space. Is all good. Deep breaths. Drop your shoulders, relax. Put weight into your heels, sink back a little bit. So try not to reach into the future. So just let yourself settle back. Be here. Be here. Breathe here. Be kind to yourself here. Inhale, reaching the arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands down. Step your right foot back, come to a lunge. Find your breath, same thing. You can do this one-armed, you can do this no-armed, and you can do this two-armed to have this side body stretch. When we come into this pose, of course, whenever one side of our body is extending in a lateral bend, the other side gets to flex. So what does it feel like to not crunch too much in the lumbar spine. Stabilize your legs. Come into your lunge, hug the midline, and press your feet into the earth. Okay, come back to center. Exhale, hands down onto the ground. Lift that left foot high in the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, bring that leg back up. Exhale and plant the foot down. Come forward into a plank. Bring yourself toward the floor, so however you safely do that, come onto the ground. Take a deep breath in. Open your body up to any back bend that you love. Breathe deeply. All right, and then relax. Pick up your feet for a moment, just a little bit of shaking from side to side. And then relax to the floor. Let everything melt away for a moment. Like in the poem, be the grain of salt that dissolves in a weakened broth. Can you let your body dissolve? Can you feel your heartbeat? All right, bring your body back online. Go ahead and come up onto all fours. Have some movement through your spine, however you like to be. And we're going to come into Vasisthasana on the right side. So right hand, right knee, and left foot lined up. If you want to do full Vasisthasana and just be on your feet, that's great too. So either knee down or 2 feet stacked. Okay, if your knee is down, you can take your shin parallel to the mat or perpendicular to the mat or anywhere along that way. See what feels best for your body. Open the chest, the shoulders go away from the ears a little bit. Relax the traps. Root your hand into the earth and rise up through the other hand. Try to unlock the elbows. Deepen your breath. Maybe your head looks up, maybe it does not. All right, and then when you're ready, stretch your arm over your head. Feel the side body lengthen here. All right, and then swing that left arm down to the earth, all fours. Give that right shoulder a little bit of a break, and we're coming into the left side. So line up your hand, your knee, and your foot, or your hand and your 2 feet. Have your hand just a little teeny bit forward of your shoulder instead of directly underneath it. The action of that will stabilize the shoulder blade a little bit more. Reach the arm up and the other arm up in the air. Find the traps, let them soften. Where is ease in your body? No matter what you're doing with your legs, let's see what it might feel like to stretch your arm overhead. If your arms don't go overhead well, just like we've been doing, you can keep your hand on your hip and just stretch your shoulder away from your hip. So whatever's working for your body. And then relax and come back down onto all fours. Stretch back to child's pose for a moment. Breathe into the whole band across your lumbar spine. Puff out the kidneys on your inhale. Let everything melt and dissolve on your exhales. Arms go wherever you want them. Knees can be close or far apart. Can you exhale fully? Can you let your brain rest? Is there ease? Okay, let's come up to dog pose when you're ready again. And you can always, if you're skipping dog poses for whatever reason and plank poses, you can always just come to stand. You don't have to have the transition through a vinyasa. Reach the right leg up in the air. Bring that foot forward. Find a lunge. And then we're going to turn and open up to the side. So here we are standing up. Let's have 2 feet parallel, so our feet are turned forward on the long edge of our mat. And I always feel like Jane Fonda, 1980s Jane Fonda when I do this, but go ahead and stretch your arm up, up, up. Okay, and then go to the opposite side. And just find both the strength of your core and the flexibility of your core as you laterally bend from side to side. And same, if your arms aren't going overhead, you can do this without your arms. How are you breathing? Have you been holding your breath the whole time you're doing this? So just sense into the movement. How are your hips stabilizing you as you laterally bend? All right, and then come back to center. Find your breath. Turn your feet to the right. Let's find Parsvakonasana. So let your elbow come down onto your knee or put your hand on a block. Shoulders move away from the ears. Same, your arm does not have to go overhead. It can be down at your side, it can be out to your side, or it can be up overhead. So find the place that's giving you most freedom in the body, the capacity to breathe well. Can you turn your navel a bit toward your left hip? Allow your left femur bone to draw back. How are your feet? Are you yielding? Can you feel the rebound? Can you feel yourself give to the earth and come back? What does it feel like to bestow kindness upon yourself? Do you have a physical sensation of what it feels like to be kind to yourself? Open that feeling up. See if you can grow and expand that feeling in your body. What happens to your breath? All right, let's come up to stand. Reverse a triangle pose. So reach into that extension through your side. Let me grab a block. If you like using a block for triangle pose, go ahead and grab a block. So I would encourage you to think about going less deep. So, how is this band across the top of your pelvis, all those muscles in your low back and in your side waist? How are they feeling when you tip over to the side and laterally bend like this? Are you able to stabilize yourself or no? Do you need to come higher? Okay. Finding the breath. Feel your feet root. Trying hard to not hyperextend your front knee. Don't lean into your joints. Instead, move into your muscle strength. Open up across your chest. Turn the navel toward the back hip a little bit. All right, we'll come back up. Reverse your triangle pose again. Feel the side body open. Bend your knee. Pause here for a breath. And then when you're ready, find Virabhadrasana 2. So arms can do whatever you want your arms to do. If you're nursing a shoulder issue, having your arms up can be very challenging. So perhaps you can strengthen your rotator cuff by bringing your elbows close to your body and holding your palms face up and turn them out to the sides. Find whatever's working for you. Can you ground into the earth? Can you rebound through your crown? Is your breath full and deep? Are you able to bestow that kindness? What does it feel like on your skin to bestow kindness? All right, let's go ahead and find our way out of that pose. Let's turn to the other side. If you're using a block for triangle pose, bring it with you. And let's start this side with Parsvakonasana. So there's always ways to support everything. If your knee doesn't bend this well, you can come way higher and just have your hand on your knee. You can put a block against your knee against a wall so that you have some support. So anything that you need so that your body feels safe. Safety first. Okay. Open your chest. Maybe your arm lifts over your head, maybe it doesn't. Are you able to root? Feel the yielding. Expand through the body as you come out of the yielding. So as you yield, you rebound. What does the rebound feel like in the body? How does the breath interrelate with your yielding? Can you feel the kindness on your skin again? Stay in the presence of your breath. Try not to wish the pose away. Be here now. Let's come out, reverse a triangle pose, reach into that side body, open things up, and then bring your hand down onto your leg. So you can have your hand on a block, you can have your hand on the leg. Try not to bear weight and push onto your leg, especially at your knee joint. Be really light, and sometimes higher is better. If you always go real deep in triangle pose, try backing out of it and see what that feels like. See if you have more space in the body, more expansion for breath, or less. So discover why you go where you go, instead of just saying, oh, this is how the pose is supposed to be. What does the body feel like in all the different shapes that you take? How is the breath? Can you be here now?
Can you melt into kindness? All right, come back up. Reach that left arm up, bend your left knee, reverse your warrior for a moment. And then when you're ready, bring your arms wherever you want them to be. And remember, you can come out a little bit. Your Virabhadrasana can be just the teeniest bit of knee bend. It can even be with your legs straight. Okay, so you don't have to go into this deep, deep lunge if your knee gets wobbly or shaky or you feel unstable in any way. So seek stability and breath before depth. Let the depth just be what it is. When you stay in the zone of ease and stability, staying in the zone of breathing well. Where do you want your arms to be? How are your shoulders? Can you drop the traps? Can you let them put their energy down a little bit? Let's go ahead and unwind out of that. Come back to turning your feet straight like we began when we were standing. Find the breath, 2 arms come up. We're going to interlace the hands behind the head. Keep the elbows really wide if you can. And if this doesn't work for your shoulders, you can keep your hands on your hips instead. Find your breath. And don't think about going down. Think about coming up. So you can narrow your stance a little bit too. Lift up, 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 up. And then come back, and then up, up, up. One more time each side. Try to get into the armpits area. Stretch open. All right, and then let's walk our feet forward. Elbows are wide, and then elbows are gonna come in. Elbows are wide, open the chest, a little bit of back bend. Elbows in, a little bit of a forward bend. One more time. Open the armpit chest. Exhale. Round in. Arms up to the sky. Exhale and fold forward. Relax the back. Deep breath into the spine. Let your exhales happen. Let your head dangle. Okay, notice if all the side body bending we did, what kind of impact did that have on your lumbar spine? Inhale for a halfway lift. And exhale and release. Come back down. Step back to the last plank will do. Hold steady. You can always put your knees on the ground right away. You don't have to be in a full plank. So decide what your shoulders are best to bear weight with. And then let's come down onto the floor. Okay. Melt again. Relax your body. All right, let's come up to a very wide sphinx. So take your fingertips on the ground and lift up your chest, open your chest. And then exhale and come back down. All right, let's come onto our back. Come to lie down. Find your breath again. Bring your arms out to the sides. Okay. The last side bending we will do here is we're going to do a supported side bend on a blanket. So if you have a bolster, you can go as high as a bolster. Okay. You're going to have 1 blanket or 2 blankets. I'll show with 2 blankets. You can also use a bolster. I guess you could use a block or a rolled up mat. I wouldn't use a block. I think it'll be too much. So you're going to put these blankets. I'm using 2, but 1 is often plenty. Okay, so I have my hip joint on this. Now, if your knees, one other thing, if you need support, put a block between your shins if you can't open that much in your side waist. Okay, and then the arm comes overhead. Find your breath. I just put my hand up on my couch and put it right on top of a very soft kitty cat. I didn't even know she was there. All right, so breathe. Make sure your side body is long. Open up the breath. And then we're going to come back. I'm going to try this other side with 1 blanket, and just so I can show you the difference, well, you can feel the difference in your own body. All right, so it doesn't have to be a lot to have the sense of opening through your side. If you're using one blanket, you may not need that block between your calves. Instead, you might want the block under your head or a blanket under your head. So just find what's feeling good to open up the side of your body. All right, and then come out of there and put your pelvis on top of the blanket or blankets. Okay, just a little bit of a low supported bridge pose. Melt in. Okay, and then we're going to bring the knees gently. So don't go super deep yet. Just give it a little time. Bend your knees toward your chest. You can still be up on the blankets. If you want to take the blankets away, that's fine too. And then slowly start to compress the knees in just a little bit deeper. You have a choice here of either reverse pigeon pose with your right foot on your left knee or cross thigh over thigh for cow face pose legs. Okay, so however you want to stretch your hips a little bit. Once again, you can stay up on your perch with your pelvis, or you can take your blankets out from underneath you. All right, and then let's change sides. So either thigh over thigh or left foot on right knee for reverse pigeon pose. Now you can move around. So these poses do not have to be static and stuck. So if you struggle with kind of finding your way, perhaps a little circling of your knees or a little side to side might give you a little shimmy to help you kind of find the groove of where your hip needs to be in this place. How's your breath? All right, let's go ahead and put our feet down. Get rid of the blocks for a moment, or the blankets rather. We're going to take our strap. If you don't have a strap, that's okay. We're going to wrap the strap around our right foot, lift that leg straight up, and actually let's do 2 feet together first. So 2 feet in the strap, extend through the spine, feel that sense of spaciousness in the side bodies. Sometimes, I'm focusing on side bodies today because a lot of times when we restrict our breathing, go ahead and take your left foot out, keep your right foot in the strap. Sometimes when we restrict our breathing, we don't even know it, right? We don't even know that we're shallow breathing up in our upper chest. Sometimes opening up the side rims of the body, just teach the body, oh, I have all this room I can breathe into. So with the left foot either flat on the ground or the left leg straight on the ground, doesn't matter. Take the strap or move your right leg over to the left. So a little bit of a IT band stretch. We're not really twisting, so the back is staying pretty flat on the ground. Deep breaths here. Okay, and then bring that leg back up. Put the left foot in the strap. Right foot can be on the floor with your foot on the ground, or your right leg can be on the floor with your leg straight. You decide. We're going to take the strap, and you can either keep it in both hands or take it over to the left hand. Cross the left leg over to the right. Feel some openness through the IT band and wherever else you're feeling. Deep inhales and exhales. Shoulders are soft and relaxed. All right, let's go ahead and come back. So grab your 2 blocks. Hopefully you have 2 blocks or blankets, whatever you have. And we're going to come, I promised some Supta Baddha Konasana this week, so I'm going to try to do a little bit of it each class, because we're going to need it this week, right? So take your blocks underneath the outer knees or the outer thighs, so the knees splay out, the soles of the feet are together. I'm purposely keeping you on the ground instead of having you do it the traditional way with bolsters and stuff underneath your back, so that you feel both openness and groundedness simultaneously.
So what does it feel like to drop into the earth? You can spread your arms out on the ground if you want. Support anything that needs support. Adjust the support in any way you need to. So first, just ground. Give yourself to the earth. Yield the places that are touching. Put kindness back into your skin. And then on the other side of your body, feel the deep openness and vulnerability of your torso. So feel how open your pelvis is. Can you breathe all the way to the pelvic floor? You sense a deep surrender through your shoulders and your neck. Is your diaphragm and your belly open and free? Can you feel movement of breath? Is your breath able to be deep? Can your side bodies flare and receive? Are you able to melt your limbs? Are your shoulders and arms able to sink? Are your knees able to sink? Is your skull able to sink? We're going to do things a little differently. I'm going to have you come into Shavasana here and now, a little early, so that we can complete our practice and sit up for a 5-minute guided meditation after Shavasana. So you can be like this for Shavasana, or if you want, you can straighten your legs and support underneath your knees for Savasana, or you can be flat on the ground, whatever's best for your body. As you transition out of Supta Baddha Konasana, try not to lose your melting openness. Keep that quality. Find kindness on your skin again, the open heart. Melt through your face. Find your breathing.
Let's begin to deepen our breathing again. So before you move, just drop. Drop your weight, drop your stress. Open your breath. Melt your body. And then when you're ready, let's begin to move a bit. Feeling any kind of movement that helps you transition. And eventually, take your time. Eventually, we're going to come onto your side. Take a moment before sitting up once you get onto your side. There's no rush. So while you're moving out of Shavasana, I'll just explain what we're going to do. We're going to do a tongue gland meditation. Most of you have done this with me before. It's a very simple meditation, very profound. So basically, we're just going to open our heart to others and take in a little bit of what they're struggling with and give out our kindness. So as you come to a comfortable seat, and you can lie down through this, you can stand up, you can lie down, you can be on your side, whatever is working if you don't want to sit. Discover the ease in your own body. First, just find what it feels like to have that sensation of kindness, of open-heartedness, of connection. Melt into that a bit. And we'll start with ourselves. So first, just offer loving kindness, compassion to yourself. May you be well. May I be well. May I be free. May I be at ease. These are just some words. You can choose any words. You can choose no words. As you breathe in, feel a little bit of the tenderness of your own heart. And as you breathe out, wish yourself well. Feel the compassion, the kindness. Let's move on to another person. So feel that sense of deep connection you have with someone you love. Knowing them well, you know what's in their heart a bit. Can you let your heart open to cradle them and hold them? I'm so sorry. I guess I didn't put my phone on do not disturb. Sorry, everybody. Please forgive me. So go ahead and return to your breath. And offer to cradle that person in your kindness. May they be well. May they be free. May they be at ease. Moving on to an acquaintance, somebody you don't know well. Someone you know who might, we're all struggling in some way. Everyone's got a struggle. So open your heart to whatever that path is for this person. Cradle them in your heart and breathe out your loving compassion, your loving kindness. Can you conjure up the sensation of kindness in your body and extend it? And now for the tricky part. Let's offer this to someone we struggle with, someone you disagree with, maybe politically. Is there someone in your life that you love or respect who has different views from you? Can you reach across the barren landscape of the divide and offer your kindness? Connect on the deep level of our humanity. And then move that even further beyond this person to our whole nation, the way in which our nation has become so divided. Can you have that sense of bridging the gap, of holding deep compassion for our whole nation? Can you knit us together? Can you send forth kindness? Oh, see if you can expand that to the whole world, all the beings on our planet. May we all be free. May we all be at ease. May we find peace. May we support one another. Let's place our hands together at our heart and bow into the whole earth. Bow into our nation. Bow into the person you disagree with or struggle with. Bow into your acquaintance. Bow into your loved one. Bow into yourself. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.